Well, here we are, folks, doing something I said I'd never do again. Um, Vala wants to go do an investigation mission in a cave. So we've got flares and guns and no common sense. And we're going to go get lost in a rock. But
Lots of medi pens.
and lots of medipens, because she's probably going to want to mine. And I picked up my mining laser and rucksack too. But we'll see what happens. You know, it could be fun. It could probably be like you've watched every other YouTube exploration in a cave. Um, Paranoia, shock. Oh, hey, there's Vala. Doing what desynced characters do. So we'll be taking little snapshots on and off as we do this, as we try to explore this cave safely. And if you don't hear from us for a while, you know why. See ya. I hope. Hey everybody, look at what we're about to go do. Yep, we're gonna go cave diving. Tell us why we're gonna do that, Vala.
Because we love being in the cave so much that we just can't stay away. No, really. So what we wanted to do is show everyone how we actually did it. And we're going to be using flares, which is really cool. And old man is great at finding his way through caves, and we have some tricks and some tips for you guys if you ever decide to go spelunking.
Yeah, it's more or less observations, some things that Vala and I learned the last time we did this, and I think it went pretty well. Don't you, hon?
It definitely did.
Yeah, I mean, it was our first time in there, but we found that, going in with two people and, the proper use of flares, you do much better overall because you can work off each other's ambient light, and actually the flares being lit up on your body throw enough light that you can see the outlines of the caves without having to blind yourself with the spotlights from any headlight helmet torches. All right, so you want to go in, get started?
I'm ready.
All right, we're going to do a series of just short cuts as we do this, just because it's everybody's seen the 4-hour-long cave videos. We don't want to do that. We're just going to stop and take video where it makes sense to, so that this is a little easier to consume. All right, we'll see you in a bit. So here's actually a very useful tip. I'm using the torch so you can see the paint on the ground. Of course, this gold paint will actually help you to notice that the miners were, or the cave explorers, spelunkers were here. So wherever you see this gold paint, it's kind of like a breadcrumb that you can follow, and that you're going in the right direction, or at least in the direction of where the person's gone. Oh, and we do recommend, if you have one, use a cutlass red, just in case bad things happen and you have to, res. It's good to be able to do that as long as no one comes by and blows up your ship. And these lights on the walls are also very helpful. As you can see, I turned my torch off, and they throw a lot of light. So I think it's going to be very useful to use those as well. So in essence, try to stay as dark as you can in the cave, and look for the sources of light in front of you and behind you as you're coming back. That's a good thing to try to remember. Okay, be right back. Okay, so there's a point where you run onto these hanging lights, and then I don't know if you can tell now, but if you're looking directly at the center of my screen, you can see that light forming there, and we'll turn this on. There's no left or right turn here really to take. That's a little dead end pocket, so we're still going to continue forward, but you can now see that there's a bit of a source of light here. So the trick of this is not to use your flares till you absolutely have to. Save them until you have to make decisions about whether you're going to go right or left, and then you can put them down in the spots where you actually went. And as you can see, Back up that way is just another dead end of a rock, and this is the area down in here where there is a light source through the smoke down in that corner. So that's the way we're going to head. And you can see that light source up by where Vala is standing. So you can come down here now, hon.
Alright.
Keep coming forward. Yeah, the fun of a cave, right? I mean, it's already starting and we're just getting into it. But yeah.
How did you get so far ahead?
I don't know. But as you can tell, I mean, she was 80 meters away around that corner. These caves are huge. They are just some of the biggest objects you can go get lost in the game. And of course, that's what we're trying not to do. Alright, we'll be back in a sec. Okay, so one of the cool parts of this is we know pretty much we're going to hug the right side of the cave coming back. And that little area off to the left is sort of a dead end, but we just, to make it easier getting out of here later, we're going to drop our first flare at this point and hopefully be able to come back and pick it up. So the object of this is to place it where it's going to be visible to you from a turn. So if we come back up here and we're coming from this direction, we can see that flare pretty easily and know that that's one of ours. And that's the direction we want to go. Because as you can see, now we're starting to get into some other strange choices, like do we go to the left or do we go to the right? And quite honestly, I think we're going to go left. So we're just going to continue along down this path. So we will theoretically, yeah, and there's a more bigger light source. We're going to come around this corner this way and be able to know when we hit this point where we have to make choices about which way to go, that we're going to head to that light source. And that's going to help us get out of here later. So off we go down further in to find Brady Ang. And yep, we're just going to keep curling around to the right. Normally what we've got to do, we've got to find an area here where there's a jump. Oh, I think we're starting to get there. So now you can see the flares are beginning to turn red. And these are going to lead us along the edges of some chasms you don't want to fall into. They're pretty deep, you will get hurt. And that's what we're trying to avoid. But again, this whole concept, we're going to continue to, when we leave here, hug the right side and get through. Also trying to preserve night vision by not having the lights on as much as I can, because it does help to find those other light sources in the cave. But there are times you just absolutely have to turn it on or you won't be able to see anything. And now, yeah, we don't want to jump down there. So this might not be, unless we, yeah, we might have to. But as you can see, these are areas where the game denotes a certain activity took place here. Somebody painted these rocks. So every cave's a little different too. But we might have to do some jumping to get up there. Be right back. Okay, so it turned out there was no other choice other than to jump down. So Vala's coming. Woohoo! Big jump. And as you can see, there's another red light. So this is the way that our cave dummy went. So we'll just keep following him and figuring out what his problem was. So imagine we're going to have to do some climbing once we get through the mission to get him back and get out of this hole. But we'll tackle that when we get to it. And see, it's cool. Vala's actually casting quite a lot of light because of her active flare on her suit. And I find that that's about all you need to navigate these caves. You really don't need to be torching it, or you'll really lose your night vision. And here's another light source. And it looks like it continues down this way.
Whoa!
What?
I just ran into a rock.
Oh. Yeah, come through here. Turn around.
Alright.
Right here.
Oh.
There's no need to whisper. If someone's in here, we're dead already. Anyway, we'll be right back. And as you can see, Vala's putting a flare down to let us know that we need to go back up that way to get back to the ship. And now we have to head down this crack. There are other little chambers here, but they're just dead ends and nothing to do there. So we got to press forward. Down into the gloom. And again, I'm trying to concentrate on where I see the largest light sources, but sometimes caves play tricks on your eyes. Yep, we gotta, it looks like, keep going up this way. And they're all a little different. All these caves present different puzzles that you have to solve, which is the mini game of all of this, really. So it looks like this is a dead end. Isn't very good. Oh, there's some dung. You can collect this stuff. So you can see it glows, and you can sell it when you're done. You can also do FPS mining down here, but that's not the purpose of why we're here today. We're just trying to get to the investigation portion. So we'll try going down this way. Okay, looks like there's a climbing spot here. Yep.
Oh, that's our flame.
Well, where'd you go?
Right here.
Okay. We gotta climb up this mess here.
Well, I gotta let you go. I'm gonna jump on top of you.
Yeah, I know. I was just telling you we had some climbing to do. Whoop. Okay, so as you can see, oh, there's our guy.
Where is he?
He's right down in the hole down there. So when you jump up on that ledge, you'll be able to see him. So quite honestly, he's down in the pit, and it looks like multiple ways. There's going to be some interesting jumping that we're going to have to do to get back up here and head back the way we came to exit out of here. But I think the other important tip is to note, just take a good moment or two to look around at your surroundings and try to familiarize yourself with what you're seeing in the light and in the dark, right? Because otherwise, if you just keep moving and jumping, do you see him down there? You'll not, you can miss the guy and spend 2 hours in here running around looking, and he's right there. And then we're going to get on that little ledge, then that ledge, then that ledge, climb back up where Vala is, and we'll be able to get out of here. So the other choice is, it's not a requirement because we're in a party that both of us have to go down there. So you can pick the person who's going to be lucky and spend 45 minutes trying to climb back up that wall.
I was just gonna say, I'll stay right here, old man.
Oh, okay, great. So I guess it's me. Here we go. Alright. Yeah, and the last time we did one of these, we broke our legs in the cave. And we had to, we had no choice. There was no way to get out. When we were jumping, we fell into some rocks, and it caused a real problem. In that we couldn't get back out. And there you go. So there's that part of it. It's complete. And now I just gotta climb my way back up to Val. And we need to find our way out of this hellhole of a cave. And it's gonna take a while. So we'll come back when we're moving to our next flare and how we navigate back out. So here you see, there's Val's flare. And she's gonna pick that up. And this is telling us to head up that right side passage, which is great because we just got the mission complete and we just need to get out of here. I'm going to hopefully activate my other flare. person light. So as you can see, we're able to kind of illuminate the cave with the flare lighting, which doesn't make you blind. And again, we're going to know that we have to just continually move in a right direction and follow those light sources to locate the other flares and make our way out of the cave. So it's just a continued hugging the cave wall edge. And, oh, there's a light. I don't know. I think that's one of the, yeah, that's one of the in-game placed flares. But we're making good progress getting out of here. And we know that we saw all these flares on the way in here. I believe. Yeah, see, this is where it gets a little weird. I might have just turned around in a circle. Oh, what are you doing down there? There you go. Come on. Sometimes she likes to sightsee. I have to come get her. But we're just going to continue to follow this path up and around as long as they continue to give us lights. And yeah, it looks like we're beginning to get back in the area that we want to be. Whoop, almost fell off. Okay, there's Val. Just decided to move ahead of me. I mean, there's a lot more you can do in here in terms of exploring. We're just trying to execute the mission and get out of here, actually, because...
I'm at your next flare.
Oh yeah, this is my first flare.
Yeah.
Great.
We only used 2 this time.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We're getting better at this. So
I think this cave provided a lot more light than the other one.
Oh, I have to agree with you. There's definitely more to this cave, and I just want to actually. I'm gonna stow this, and now again we're just gonna continue to follow this path. I know it gets redundant, but we're just gonna keep going right, and then all that really we got to do is figure out, when we get up to that edge where we jump down and drop down, how we're going to climb up that wall. And that will also take a few minutes. So we'll be back, as you can see, making good progress getting out of this mess. And there you have it. Hey, honey. We did it. Looks like we were at an all-night rave party, but, you know, the important thing is we completed the mission.
Yeah, you're red and green.
Yeah, you're teal and red.
Oh, I do have 2 colors?
Yeah, it's cool.
See, I stored it away, but they didn't give you an option to deactivate.
Yeah, it stows it on your belt, and I think... Yeah, it is strange.
Let's see if I can deactivate.
Yeah, I would like to know if that's possible as well, but... No, I can't even get my body to accept that it's part of me, which is strange. I could get it before. So I guess we're just going to have to go to the Moby Glass and detach them from our armor to actually get rid of them.
Yeah.
And unequip them, and that should store them back in available mode.
Oh, that was pretty painless.
Yeah, that wasn't so bad. I'm pretty glad how that went. But again,
Considering it was a new cave altogether, too.
yep, brand new cave, different puzzle to solve, but the same concepts. Keep situational awareness, use your lights as little as possible, use your flares as much as you can. to mark your way in and out. And if you can, come with a friend.
and have fun.
Yeah,
It's
and
pretty cool.
don't go in the cave alone if you can. It'll help. Oh, look at that! Isn't that just beautiful? Good Crusader, just hanging out there, off in the distance. I'm gonna grab a.
So again, we did this video really fast just to kind of show you how we did it. But we like to walk around and look at the stuff. There's a lot of flora and fauna in there, and I don't usually mind when we go in, but it is fun to look at all the details in the rocks and explore the little nooks and crannies. So, um, have fun with it.
Indeed, great advice. And we're uh, we're gonna wrap this one up and go do some mining in our new mole. We just decommissioned my old Constellation Aquila and upgraded it to our own mole. So last month we were doing a lot of mole mining and fell in love with the ship and the gameplay of that, and have decided to grab one real time. And I think overall it's just going to be great.
There, am I not shiny anymore?
Yep, you took care of it. Great job. All right. So off to other adventures. Talk to you all soon.